Ryan is an alumnus of our firm. He worked here 4.5 years.
4 years, yes.
He had a great career here. He went on to Uber, had a great career there, and is now doing something new. So let's just get into it.
So, just started a company called Eddy. Eddy is an on-demand cannabis delivery company, similar to something like an Uber Eats, but we'll be focusing on both medical cannabis as well as recreational cannabis.
So this is obviously super relevant today, and at time of filming, we're also talking about a Canada Post strike. And so, you know, you have a situation in Ontario, and you'll talk about where you're launching, but you know, you have a situation in Ontario where there's either a supply shortage because people don't have the material, or you can't get it because we don't have physical stores anymore. So actually, I sort of feel like this may be the answer. How do you think about all that?
Definitely, I think we see that as an opportunity. I think, you know, a big part of why they decided to legalize cannabis was to combat the black market. And it's pretty difficult to combat the black market when people can't get product.
Right.
When they go on the website, there's shortages. Right now, they're estimating it'll take 2 to 3 weeks for people to get a delivery. And really, I think for us to really create a viable alternative, we need to make that as convenient as possible. A service like ours could really make that as quick as a 30-minute delivery.
Now, this is a question I've probably asked you in a different context over the years. Where do you get your weed?
Well, probably a different answer before. But yeah, so we are going to be partnering with licensed producers.
Got it. The president of Canopy came out a couple of days ago and said, you know, the shortages that we see in the market are ones that are not going to be resolved in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're probably going to have shortages for years. Now, I guess he doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to wait 2 years to get a gram that you buy or any other product that you buy, but we will continuously have shortages for a long period of time. So how are you, being, I'll say, the last mile, how are you able to help people get things faster? How are you going to manage that?
There's always so much you can do on the shortages side. I think there will be certain products and there will be sellouts from time to time, for sure. What we can really help with is really that kind of like those last couple miles logistics. So number one, helping them figure out where to store that product so it's convenient to customers, and then having a flexible system where we can actually be able to, as soon as we get that order, be able to deliver that, pick it up, and get it to the customer.
So what is that
quickly.
system? How are you going to do that?
That's where I can take a lot of my experience at Uber, where we can, we're going to be building up a group of a driver base, kind of flexible driver base that we have across many major cities across Canada, ensuring that we have the right amount of drivers at the right time to ensure that we can continue to have that reliable, that we say, when we say it's a certain amount of delivery time, that we can consistently deliver that.
I'm guessing that you have to be a little bit more diligent in choosing your drivers than Uber does in theirs.
There's definitely a bit of a stricter diligence that we need to do, as well as more training with those drivers, because yeah, it's not just dropping off that product. It is checking at the door for their age. And it's not only just age, it could also be that they're intoxicated. So you need to have people who are well trained to deal with.
So it's sort of like the Smart Serve version, or the cannabis version of Smart Serve. Everybody here has to be trained on, because they're like bartenders. They're bartenders with cars.
Right.
And is that similar for the medicinal one, or the medicinal people have a different thing going when they buy it?
Similar rules for them as well.
Very interesting.
I think there's a ton of potential here in Canada. Already we can see there's tons of demand just from like the sellouts that we saw in the first week. We know there's many other use cases that are coming, and we know there's many countries around the world who are also looking at doing similar legalization. So yeah, it's a very complicated environment right now. I think most people just think, you know, cannabis is legalized, it happened across Canada. But actually a lot of the important decisions are happening from a province by province level, and most of the provinces are doing things at least a little bit differently than the others.
Now this would be more in the distribution or all the way through?
So there's a number of choices. So if we talk on the distribution side, there's decisions that you have to make on retail, whether it's private, public, and where you can have the retail. Separately, they're deciding on e-commerce. Will that be private or public? And then delivery, who can do delivery and what requirements are we going to put onto it?
And I guess the real best regulation they could put in is only companies whose names rhyme with ready should be able to do delivery anywhere in the
why
country.
wouldn't you do that? It's
Exactly.
just logical.
Great to have you. I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to hear more about your business.
All right, great job.
Thanks a lot.